If all your online leads are predominantly tire kickers and people that have no idea what it costs to work with you, check this video out because we just solved this problem for a remodeling contractor up in the Northeast. Hey, this is Logan Shinholster, and I'm gonna walk you through one of the websites that we actually just finished. Now, the backdrop on this is for a company called Renovista Construction, and they are a remodeling company up northeast, right? Massachusetts, Connecticut, that area. The big problem that Josh was having here was not that he wasn't getting enough leads. He was getting a lot of leads, in fact. The problem was it was almost too many leads because the leads that were coming through, they were not good quality. If you've ever worked with a third-party lead generation site, you know that quantity is not the issue there. You're gonna get a lot of leads. The problem is most of the leads that are coming through are not actually ones that you wanna work with, or realistically, they don't really wanna work with you, right? They're typically just shopping around, trying to figure out who has the best price, things like that, and it's not necessarily their fault, but they've never actually had a contractor sit down and walk them through the whole process, why they should buy from them. So if that's never happened to them, of course they're just gonna look for the best price. So this is what we were trying to solve with Josh, because he was getting too many leads, like just too many, just all over the place leads. And it was doing two things. One, it was taking time away from actual stuff that makes him money. But number two, more importantly, it takes away your mojo a bit, right? When you are on call after call after call, estimate after estimate after estimate, and they say, no, that's way too much money. Or they say, well, I was thinking this was gonna be $15,000 and you're talking to $60,000, $70,000. At first, it's not that bad, but once this happens over and over and over and over, you start to lose any sort of enthusiasm for these calls, right? You no longer want to call leads back because you're like, shoot, this is gonna be just another tire kicker that just wants stuff for cheap. I'm not gonna do it. Well, that was the problem that we set out to solve, and that's the one that we fixed. And I wanna show you exactly how we did it. So if I go ahead and jump on into the website has what we always do, which is it is set up with the 5 sales pillars on it. And what I mean by that is this is going to be one of the easiest, cleanest, most personalized websites that his clients will ever go on. We're going for a very specific demographic here, and when the people that fit that mold come to this website, they're gonna go, you know what, this is the company for me. All right, and that's exactly what the goal is to identify, here's who you wanna go after, let's figure out what pain they're going through, and then let's actually talk about that on the website. So that's really what we wanna go through here. So I wanna walk you through this and show you kind of near the end of this video what makes all this very, very special. So coming on in, we go through the emotion of everything, right? People, if you're a surface level contractor, meaning all you do is talk about the trade and the kitchen, this and that, it's gonna be a tough time to actually get somebody to move forward with you at your price point, because people don't buy on logic, they buy on emotion, and they buy on their own emotion, right? So they need to be emotionally invested with you, and if they don't do that, it's gonna be very tough to get them to move forward. So this entire website is really focused around the emotion, right? Connect with your family in a home you truly love and cherish. Moving on down, we're listening to you first and foremost, okay? Redefining the so we're really pushing the emotion aspect of it. We first want to lean into why you get it done, and then talking a little bit more about how we differ, right? What are we different about this process that makes us worth the extra investment? It's all meant to be super simple for people, and they understand what is going on. Now, let me walk you through some of the stuff. So when they first come in, the first thing that they're able to do is either schedule a consult or check out the gallery, right? The gallery page is actually quite big because these are what people want to see. They want to see your work, because if your work does not represent what they want, then it's not a good fit for them. It's not a good fit for you. And if you're one of these contractors that says like, well, I can do anything, like as long as they have an idea, I can make it happen, whether it's $500 or $500,000, that's a screwed up business model, right? You don't see on the same parking lot a Lamborghini next to a Saturn. It just doesn't work like that, because you're attracting various different types of clientele. And when your actual projects are so far apart, it's very hard to get anybody on the same page because it lacks consistency. So what we're trying to do here is show these higher end projects that he's able to do. All right, and I know what you're thinking, I don't have these pictures, right? Well, some of these are his pictures and other ones are stock images. It doesn't all necessarily have to be your stuff. It just can't have a large discrepancy between pictures of your actual work and the stock images. If you're up in New England like he is, we can't show houses that are in Miami. It just doesn't make any sense. But as long as we can show them that they're similar enough, it will work, right? People want to see this stuff. So that's the first thing that we want to do, is actually walk through the homes that he's done, right? Actually showing what he can do, and this will validate the homeowner's mindset of, yep, okay, he can help. All right, so now that we show this, some of the things that we want to do is actually walk through some of these services. So let's say the kitchen one, right? The kitchen one's the most fun one to talk about because it's the heart of the home. Coming on down, the first thing we want to do is talk about them. Talk about why they, the client, needs to get this, right? If we just say, oh, here's our process for building a kitchen, well, that commoditizes us. Sales and marketing are the game of golf. The more that your marketing does up front, the easier it is to sell. And in golf, the better your tee shot, the easier it is on your second shot to get it in the hole. All right? But if you have a terrible marketing plan and it doesn't do what you want it to do, it doesn't help the sale, well, now you're trying to figure out how to, chip it in from 300 yards out on somebody else's fairway. So the marketing piece is so important when it comes to selling. And that's what we wanted to focus on in this, is with him, we don't need to attract every single person that exists in his area. We only want to attract these specific types. So we go through the emotion. We get them all fired up, right? Like we've all walked into a friend's kitchen and thought, wow, this is a nice kitchen, right? That creates a visual in their head of, I know exactly the time that I've done that, right? So now what they're doing is they're emotionally investing into us. All right, and once we do that, then we start to talk about the process, right? So we're not leading with, this is how we do things. We're really leading with the emotion behind it. And then we back it up with our process. Lead with emotion, back it up with logic. You see where we're going? Now, here's what's really cool about this site. It will filter people out for him. When people go on this website, they learn more about him. They get emotionally invested. They see his work. They go, yep, that's who I want. And then they come here and they go, well, I had a budget of 10 grand. They're not going to call him, right? There's no way that he's going to be able to convince somebody to spend 3 times their budget on this project. This is a filter to effectively let people know, hey, you're not quite ready for this yet. Take some time, save it up, and let's go. Now, a lot of contractors are going to say, well, I can't show my pricing because then my competitors will know, or I don't want to scare people. But the fact of the matter is, at first, when you first get into business, that is maybe the mentality, right? You want to attract anyone and everyone, but once you start to get into the swing of things and you become established, you're going to realize that a lot of people, they just don't know what these cost. They have no idea what investment they're looking at, and it becomes a time suck for you. But if you can get in front of this on the front end by convincing people that you're the right fit for them at the top of the page and slowly working them down, then you say, by the way, this is what it costs, ballpark. Now the people who are actually in this range will then click this button and schedule the consult with you. All right, so, and then we have the testimonials that back it up. So everything on this is working the person up to say, this is why you want it. We will help bridge that gap between you not spending time with family and you spending time with family, and the vehicle is the kitchen. And then at the last bit, it says, by the way, this is kind of what it costs. So you're only gonna have qualified leads coming in the door. And I know for him, he had 4 leads come through the site in like the first week and a half of this thing launching. So, and these are people that they know money. They know what this stuff costs. They're not coming in totally blind going, well, I was hoping, I know it said starts at 30, but I was hoping it was going to be 8. These are all the qualified leads that you want. You don't need a million leads. You just need the right ones. All right. I hope all that makes sense. If you want this for your company, meaning you want to stop running around and getting all these leads and losing your sales momentum because you're getting tons and tons of people that simply are not the right fit, head to contractorgrowthnetwork.com. Let's start the conversation using our 3P method. One of the P's is produce leads. which is your website. The other 2 P's help everything that we got going on. It's kind of a trifecta that will only bring you qualified leads. ContractorGrowthNetwork.com. Thanks.